This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin Freakin.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol Live. It's a freaking Friday. We don't Troll Patrol very much on Friday, but I have a feeling it's going to be happening a lot more in the next couple of months as we do debates, campaign stops, and all the political news heading into the 2024 presidential general election. Not just the presidential election, the 2024 general election. We've got Senate races to cover, we got governor's races to cover, House, state races. We're gonna keep you abreast of all of it right here, where you find out what that news be doing. Violet, good evening. I fuck. Good afternoon. Me cakes, I haven't went and got weed yet. That's a this evening thing, so I'm still gonna be. I think I've got like a little bit of green. I might throw it in with my gunk I'll be smoking when I break out the bong here in a second, because I'm not high enough for this shit. Violet, Warlord, good afternoon. You haven't updated it in like over a month, Warlord. I pointed that out the other day. Oh God, it's been updated. I just looked over. Oh God, it's been updated. What did you add the thing that got me Facebook banned today? I did not say the word. I did not say the word. Fuck you. I didn't say the word. Here's your meme of the day. My dad isn't home. I know. And in case you're wondering what got me banned from Facebook, I'll show you in a second because I'm still laughing over it. And it's a comment I made. It said the 16th. So I was getting ready to say 2 weeks ago, but it's a week ago. So I always hate it when it's like a comment I made, and I'm like, what? When did I say this? Oh, it wasn't the shit I was saying today. As well not hold off any longer. Trump supporters. Trump isn't racist. Hulk Hogan. Well, let me tell you something, nerd. Didn't say the word. Get myself Twitch banned again. Apparently it is. Good afternoon, Tones. Welcome. Let's get Let's get ready to go C-SPAN. Let's get real C-SPAN. I was going to YouTube to go to C-SPAN, but no, let's get actual C-SPAN up. They might not be live, and they might be taking calls. I gotta go to a different browser to log in to my C-SPAN account. Because yes, I have a C-SPAN account. I guess it's the campaign stream, I would assume, right? They aren't live right now. Well, shit. What? That's wild. YouTube's way, way stricter. I don't argue on YouTube. I can't say the things I want to say. And then on Twitter, I'm pretty wide open. I can call people dumb fucks and dipshits and... But you've got to, like, I can't say right-wingers or morons. That is not allowed on Twitter. But I can say you are a dumb fuck. Yeah, Podium Cam. This is in Arizona. Trump will be speaking later today. RFK expected to join him at an event in Arizona. He filed the paperwork last night to remove his name from the ballot in Arizona. I'm really sad because I came on early because I thought we were going to get C-SPAN calls. I thought we were going to get a few calls in. Now we just sitting here looking at an empty podium. I'm really wondering how many people are out there that are bots or paid that are trying to stir division on the left or the liberal side. So do you notice how we keep having people come in here and talk about Kamala wasn't, rightfully elected. She didn't get any votes. Blah 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 blah. Did something happen to Hassan? I saw somebody shouted at him as he was in a car last night. I mean, we've literally have the information that right-wing groups were posing as leftist groups on Facebook to try to sow division. Basically to rightfully tell you should be pissed off about genocide, rightfully tell you that you should be pissed off about XYZ issue, but it's all in service of trying to get you not to vote for the Democrats. Libertad, good afternoon. I almost said good evening again. It's always more on this, dumb fuck that. When Libertad sees anything Justin. It is. On Twitter, I am ruthless. It does not take much to get me to call you a dumb fuck. Because I have so much fun, and Twitter lets me do it. But don't say sis. I'm not high enough for this ship. Speaking of which, that is the premiere. If you were watching on YouTube, I don't know how long this is going to last, but I was planning on hanging out with you guys till 2:30, or 3:30. 2:30. I was hanging out with you guys until 3:30, and I will kick you guys out in time for the premiere of Light One Up, Tip One Back. Rips for JustinFREAKIN. On YouTube, if you were here last night, you actually got to see the premiere. I got to pack another. Well, it might have a hit on it. I sent it to my mom. She has not said anything back. Me and my mom are kind of estranged. So I was at least expecting, that's good video or whatever. Or at least she'd get upset, because that may have been the first time she actually had any kind of confirmation about my sexuality. Not that I've hid it from her, but I've just never said anything about it to her. And she's on there listening to me talk about I'd fuck a man address. I assumed my mom always knew, but she was a virulent homophobe in the 90s, maybe even up into the 2000s. It was, she loved Gomer Pyle when Jim Neighbors came in. It's behind a paywall until 3:30, Libertad. It's debuting here in just less than 2 hours. But then when Jim Neighbors came out of the closet, she completely switched. And this is about the time gay marriage was happening. This would have been 2011, 2012. And she went after my grandmother for being homophobic. Mom was also a virulent racist when I was a little kid. Bo Magna! Good afternoon, my friend. Is demanding equal rights as a matrosexual. There was one time I was home. This is when I was in college. It was probably 2010, 2011, something like that. And I had brought my laundry, but I didn't tell my mom to do my laundry. I was going to do it. But it was the first night I was there, right? I got in there that afternoon, had plans with my friends. I was going to do laundry the next day. I'm eating a sandwich at the bar, and my mom is doing my laundry, and she's like, Justin, Why are there a pair of panties in your clothes? Are you cross-dressing? And I looked at her and I was like, no one wants to see my hairy ass and panties, Mom. You know I'm very promiscuous. Why would it not be one of the many women that come over and stay at my apartment? Or femboys. Could have been a femboy. Or a trans person. Who knows? Why was her first thought that I was cross-dressing? Yeah, Mom. My beard, my hairy ass, yeah, that's perfect cross-dresser. Not to say that you can't if you enjoy it. Or not to say that there's not anybody that wants to identify as feminine and might have hair. I almost have, what is the deal with female? People are saying that female is wrong. Is it because it contains male? Because how would woman be better? Because it also contains man. I'm not understanding the objection to the use of the word female. I forgot what I was going to say. Mom just wants to support her new daughter. Exactly. No, like, I have a female friend. That's what I was going to say. Who can grow a full beard. And she's very feminine. But she can grow a full beard. And, like, just some people are like that. The right wing needs to get over that bullshit. I don't want her to have to feel like she has to shave her beard if she doesn't want to. People too uptight about sex and gender and all that nonsense. Like, Jesus Christ, man and woman are just words that we made up to describe what we see in nature. Don't fit into that box, that binary. Which also ironically is the party that talks about, individuals. Individualism. That party also wants you to be rigidly conforming. How? How does that work? I'm sorry, I'm just ranting as we kill time until Robert F. Kennedy Jr. makes his way to the podium. Fuck it. I tell you what, let's do it. Why should I make you guys wait for the premiere when we've got time right now? Right? I already played it last night. Let's do it. In case you don't, if you're on Twitch and you don't want to venture off Twitch to watch YouTube here in a little bit for the premiere, here you go. This one's for you. Go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
All we're establishing is this guy's wicked sick aesthetic.
Not high enough for this shit.
I guess I gotta thank Matt Walsh for introducing me to JustinFREAKIN.
Hey there, y'all. We're about to get stupid, locked into what that news feed doing. Fu Manchu and a slick bandana, colder than ice, smoother than Santana. Audio, video, chat and calls. Right-wing nut jobs haunt the halls. What you wanna watch? Hey, what you think? And there's only one choice. It's JustinFREAKIN.
The guy's, he's a formidable voice in the call.
Light one up and tip one back. It's a right to be high. Let's grab a snack. It's fucking news, quit panic, attack, and play your cards right and get a titty slap. Jump in Discords, have some fun. The man will talk to everyone. Get high and try to debate. When shit pops off, chat thinks it's great. What do you think you're doing? Join the troll. Whatever discourse is brewing, he gives it that southern drawl.
So let's go ahead and bring in Justin. Hey Justin, how's it going, brother?
First of all, I want to say you're poser South. I'm in Alabama. I'm the real South.
Okay, all right. So why don't you tell us what it takes to be a man?
Well, I don't know. I'm in Alabama and I'll fuck a man in a dress. Why won't you fuck a man in a dress? Are you that insecure that you won't fuck a man in a dress?
That's fantastic. So you're okay with that, right?
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Good.
Right-wingers are morons.
Like one it and hit one back on one more clip where we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.
Yes, it's the new YouTube trailer starting this afternoon after it premieres on YouTube at 3:30. Back to the empty podium. Thank you to the media winch. Clinically, I actually had no control. She did all the mastering on the audio, only made the video. I actually did not change the audio settings at all. Thank you. Media Winch knocked it out of the park with that song. And yes, it is. It gets caught in your ear, it gets stuck in your head. I would have mixed it a little bit differently, but she didn't give me that. She just gave me a MP3. She didn't even give me a WAV file. This leftist audio over here. Killed it. Thank you, Media Winch. Yeah, I have been working my ass off this week to get it up this week because I figured it would be good motion for the channel, and we're getting a lot of attention right now. Like, the last 4 days have been some of the most watched episodes of the Troll Patrol ever. And once again, my apologies. If you go back and watch the replay on YouTube, I'm sorry day 3 isn't there. They played Neil Young, Keep On Rocking in the Free World. That got me blocked. And then they played a Prince song. I think that was a different night, though. It was Keep On Rocking in the Free World, and then it was John Mellencamp. So yesterday when I tried to take... YouTube has a thing where you can just take the song out, and it took all fucking day and it didn't work. So my video was still blocked. So now I'm just like cutting the sections out. I was trying to take the song out, leave me talking in, but that did not work, so just the sections get cut out. Day 3 is old news by now. I hate that happened, because if somebody wanted to watch day 3, it would have been yesterday. I try to have the stream up for everybody as soon as I can in the evening. So if you're working overnight, I can give you 3 or 4, or in this week it was 6 or 7 hours to help you make it through a long shift. Because that was my favorites when I was doing a job. I was building racks for a AV tech company, and I just listen to podcasts all day while I'm building the rack. You run out of podcasts if you're 8 hours a day listening to podcasts. You run out pretty quickly. And I really like the daily ones. They're kind of up on, current events and happenings and everything. Rack 'em. Rack ball. Oh my God. None of you probably know what Rack 'em Rack ball is. We'll have to watch the damn show on stream someday. Oh my God. We are going to have to watch the damn show on stream sometime. Mitochondria! Good afternoon. So there was this sketch comedy show, and it was really crude. Like, they were like film students in Georgia in like 2003, 2004. My buddy used to go to Blockbuster. He had a DVD ripper, right? So he would go to Blockbuster. He had that membership thing where you could go and you could get unlimited rentals. You could do like 2 at a time. So this motherfucker would go to Blockbuster. He lived like 15, 20 minutes from it. He would go get 2 DVDs, go back to his house, rip them, come back and trade them in for another 2 DVDs in less time than it would even take to watch the fucking movies. Because, you know, all he had to do was rip them off. He didn't have to burn them immediately. He was going to get 6, 8, and just fucking anything. And he grabbed this thing called The Damn Show one time. And he had put it on and watched the first sketch. And didn't think anything. I was like, eh. But then another time, we were just sitting around getting high, and he was just, you know, put something on in the background. And we let it play, and we sat there, we laughed our fucking asses off. It is one of the funniest goddamn things I've ever. It's very offensive. It is. If you consider yourself, I mean, I know my show is offensive, but when I say offensive, I mean really offensive. They did, the guys eventually, because they're fucking brilliant, they did eventually, they got a contract with Comedy Central and they did the show Brickleberry. And after that got canceled, they've got a Malibu PD or something like that's on Netflix, and that's the show I think they still do. But it's like, it's this set of DVDs that put them on the... Yucko the Clown. If you guys know Yucko the Clown. My favorite Yucko bits is he goes to like this auto show, and he's like talking to this woman about like trunk space. And he's like, how many dead hookers could I fit in here? And she's like, well, are they whole? And he's like, I'd probably chop them up a little bit. Yeah, he was on a, like the day after Dale Earnhardt died, he was on some Atlanta radio station. He's like, I just flew in and boy, is Dale Earnhardt dead. Ah ha ha. Yeah, Yucko was pretty, like it kind of went viral. So if you know anything about the damn show, it's probably Yucko the Clown. Venus, it's incredible. When I say offensive, I am putting a content warning for my chat that it's offensive. But, like, one could consider it very racist, very homophobic. But I don't think they were any of those things. Fragwits, good evening. Good afternoon. They have a sketch called The Dukes of Hazzard, and it's about 2 Asian boys. They have a YouTube channel, but not everything's up there clinically. So, 2 Asian boys is called The Dukes of Hazzard. I'm not going to say the name of the sketch. But you guys can put 2 and 2 together. Oh, Fragwits, it's 8 for you. Okay, it's mid-afternoon for me. I'm not used to being on this early. Yes, daytime Justin is so weird. You're going to get it more and more as we get into campaign season. That fucking clown. Oh, when I asked that dude if that hat came with a dick in his mouth, I stole that joke from Yucko. That's where I got it from. He was interviewing a black couple. And like a woman was like, I wear the pants, or maybe it was even an interracial couple. The woman was like, I wear the pants in the family. And Yucko looks at the dude like, yeah, you like whips, don't you? It's so offensive. I don't know where my cup of water is. There, I got one. God damn it. Thirsty. I don't think I got any tea, or I don't think I got any coffee left. I gotta order groceries. I still haven't ordered groceries. That's this evening. Well, I don't have any sugar, so I can't make any tea. And, like, I drank my coffee black yesterday, but then I looked in the fridge last night. I had a whole unopened thing of coffee creamer. I was like, oh, God damn it. So I think I had, like, 5 cups of coffee last night right before I went to bed. Any minute now, we'll get RFK come to the podium. He will be dropping out of the race. He has already filed the paperwork. I don't want to see Warlord get disappointed when Harris wins this fall. I don't want to see me get disappointed if I have to cover Donald Trump for 4 years. Remember, the Troll Patrol officially started in 2020. So I really only did the last year of his presidency. But also, technically, I did several dry runs of the Troll Patrol all the way back to like 2017. I think that was the oldest one I could find. Because producer Dave credits me with him getting started on streaming. I'm like, you were on Twitch way before me, brother. He was doing the audio thing for a while. Donald Trump truthing that his administration will be great for women and their reproductive rights. Well, Trump is pro-genocide as well. Yeah, good afternoon. How are you? Get wrecked, Libby. Yeah, okay, apparently some dude... Oh, get this. I was in just a rando Facebook political group. And I'm arguing with some dumb fuck, and it was about George Floyd or something. They're still upset about George Floyd. And this dude, like, I respond to his comment, and he responds back and says something about, go make some rockets with sugar. You look stupid with Destiny or something like that. And I was like, oh. Well, it turned out this dude is a streamer. And he made a video about me, and we're gonna watch it. Not today, maybe not tomorrow. I watched the first minute of it. He called me a tanky. And I'm like, I'm not a tanky. He said their entire argument is that debate is pointless. Therefore, the moment they agreed to the debate, they lost. I was like, that wasn't my point at all. My point was you shouldn't take Destiny or online debate seriously. I love fucking doing it. I love participating in it. But I'm just here to call people dumb fucks. Yes, a tanky, me. I do believe, there were a couple people, like, I think Kevin considers himself a communist, right? Kevin Logan? And then I believe somebody else that was in there. Kevin fucking Logan, Warlord. He's British. How do you not know him? He's probably on right now. Kevin's cool. You guys should give him a follow. I've been in his chat a few different times. Kevin F. Logan. I wasn't... Okay, so the thing with Destiny is, like, I wasn't prepared for that. And I'm not blaming, like, Wick asked me the day before, and I also wasn't exactly, like, Warlord will even tell you that I wasn't exactly sure that Destiny was even going to be there the day of. Lucky! Oh yeah, this is nothing but for RFK's own ego. This is not going to have an effect on the election at all. I mean, the Trump campaign is hoping it brings them 1%. They're hoping they can gain another, and that's about what they need in order to win this election, right? I don't think all Kennedy voters are going to go to Trump. I think most Kennedy voters are going to sit it out. I think about 1% will go to Trump. I don't see why you wouldn't make him ambassador, and hell, I don't even know why. Like, I don't know if Harris made him the offer to be an ambassador or something, because that's like a bullshit role. Let him be the ambassador to some fucking Kirks and whatever the Kirks and Tacos or whatever the fuck. Let him go down there and sun with his shirt off. Lenny, good evening. Now, okay, I have seen right-wingers float the idea of RFK being the head of the CIA, and I must admit, for reasons I kind of like that. That's kind of funny. If you believe that the CIA assassinated his uncle and his dad, that's kind of funny. Make him the ambassador to Cuba. We know those Kennedys know how to deal with Cuba. I don't think he wants an ambassadorship. I think he wants something real. He wants some kind of power or something. He wanted a cabinet position. That was his offer to both campaigns, was a cabinet position. And buddy, that's real power. You don't get a cabinet position. Are you going to make RFK the head of Health and Human Services? No. Secretary of the Interior? No. So we're already like 20 minutes late on this. When I've made this analogy many times. If you've ever watched Rick and Morty, episode where Rick goes into the battery and he's got the civilization and he's acting like he's a space god or some shit. Gotta do the slow ramp, Maury. Really gets their dick hard. That just sounds like slavery with extra steps. Back when Rick and Morty was really good. It ain't what it used to be. The new voice actors are alright. This season was probably one of the best in a while. But, like, nothing beats those first two seasons. I haven't watched the anime. I've heard it's really good. The anime just ended, didn't it? I mean, first episode dropped. I thought the whole thing dropped. I thought it just ended. I'll probably give it a shot, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But people were raving about it. Not that it was like anything like mind-blowing or groundbreaking, but that it was like a breath of fresh air. Oh, episode 2 is tonight. Okay. All right, my bad. For some reason, I thought the whole thing had already dropped. I'll check it out then. I'll check it out over the weekend. I'll let you know on Monday. We are live, Sassy! Good afternoon. You shouldn't feel like an idiot, because our politics are a dumpster fire. But hey, I've thought about something, and I want to tell you guys this. You get disillusioned with the system and everything. You think that you can't make a change. I'll give you this example. Remember that John Lewis was getting the shit beat out of him within an inch of his life on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and went on to run be one of the leading voices in the party that beat the fuck out of him on that bridge. So I want you guys to be angry and adversarial with the party, absolutely. But they're just a tool, a means to an end, and we can affect change. I don't want to let you guys get too cynical. That's Mox's job. Apparently, Scott Peterson might actually be innocent. I don't know much about the case. I don't know about the clinically. I know it's so hard. I know. But what if John Lewis had just gave up when they were beating the fuck out of him? He didn't lay down and say it's so hard. I mean, that's just wild to me. He became one of the leading voices in the party that beat the fuck out of him on that bridge. A bridge that absolutely should be renamed the John Lewis Bridge. Take that fucking Klansman off it. Also, the more I think about it, can we trade Mark Kelly for Gabby Giffords? Can we just let Mark Kelly step down and Gabby have a seat? I'd rather have her. "23 minutes late on this shindig, and I came on early. Motherfuck." God damn it, RFK. And then watch this motherfucker only speak for like 5 minutes. I shouldn't mock him. Delayed until 2:30. Well, I'm glad I can keep you company for a little bit, meat cakes. I'd like to stream more during the day, but that requires me shirking a lot of responsibilities. Help me get bigger and be able to... Minty! Good afternoon! He's on brainworm time. So here we go.
We're just going to do one more final audio check just to make sure you can still get it because we had some new press people join us. So if we can just do one more thumbs up, everybody's doing good.
Do a
Here, I know someone.
do a video check. You need to focus this camera. Oh, thank you, Meat Cakes.
Still going here. Okay.
I tell all my friends to fucking watch the show and they never do.
Twice. Just make sure you guys can all hear me. Just one more time. Thumbs going up in the air.
There are people on my Facebook page that love my trolling that don't watch this show.
Okay, we're going to be starting shortly. Just for everybody to settle in.
That watch news focused content all the time, but don't watch my show. I was talking with a friend the other day and he asked me if I'd seen a clip by Cult of Dusty. And I was like, no, have you seen my clip I did on that? Nothing against Dusty. I like him. I like him a lot. Yeah, getting people over to Twitch. Okay, sometimes getting people to make the jump to Twitch is a little hard, but once people get over to Twitch, they like it so much better. Facebook is where I argue with dumb fucks. Why would it be Auto 240? Why would it be Auto 240? We're here every night. Well, okay, I think I'm in a different browser. That's right. That's the reason. I think my settings are supposed to be like auto best settings. Because we watch YouTube all the fucking time. But I think I'm in a different browser, so that could be it. But you would think it would be in the settings of my account. Okay, I'm going to go take a tinkle real fast while we're still waiting for him, because I don't have Dan Crenshaw's eye pussy. Be right back. Enjoy the podium. Podium edging. Always wash my hands. I totally didn't wash my hands. I didn't piss on him though. That's the George Carlin bit. You know when I wash my hands? When I shit on them. And that at most happens 2, 3, 4 tops a year. Maybe a little more at the holidays. Is that Beavis? Was I wrong? Was Beavis in a suit? Yes, wash them when you wash your ass, for sure.
Life is too short to walk this earth for a crusty asshole. Wash your ass.
That's another one. As I said, everybody that goes over to Twitch, they don't regret it. They love the thing. Once you get them over on Twitch, it's the same thing with bidets. I've never heard a single person get a bidet and then be like, nah, I'm going back to toilet paper. Every single person with a bidet is like, this is the most awesome thing ever. I probably need a pressure washer. What I put in this dude's hand? Is it a hose?
Life is too short.
Yeah, it's a hose. Oh, no, it might be a pressure washer.
Wash your ass.
New UI? Oh, no, there's not a new UI, is there? They changed the interface on YouTube? At 2:40, god damn it! I think I got Police Chase that's like 10 minutes long. You want to watch it? Warlord, did you give Sparkles baked beans? I was told that she gave you baked beans. Also, I'm still embarrassed about the whole Big Sister General, that was it. Big Sister General thing last night. I swear it was Sparkles. I can prove it. You told me Harris's sister was a general in the army. That's not true at all. She's not even her big sister. Trump isn't going to bother with RFK. Yeah, by the way, there was a chase going on when I got off stream last night, but I was so fucking tired and so hungry. I could not have gone any longer. I was like, God damn, there's a live chase. I will try to watch Trump later, Warlord, but I am so fucking busy. I've got so much shit to do. I don't make any promises. Is that okay? But I'll do my best. Trump is at 7 tonight. 7 Eastern time in Arizona. It's an outdoor rally, isn't it? Many people pointed out on Twitter that he got on stage last night and said America does not have a gun problem. Behind a wall of bulletproof glass. The irony. He did look, if you saw the picture from the border, holy fuck. Maybe he is going to pass away any day. I mean, it was torchy, not late at all, really. RFK has had his press conference pushed back until 2:45. So we've just been bullshitting. And we're going to watch a chase.
Take a look at this pursuit on the
we changed the
freeway. LAPD Devonshire units chasing this burglary suspect through San Fernando Valley into Simi Valley, westbound on the 118 freeway.
This happened yesterday afternoon.
Off to Ventura County CHP units, who are now taking over this pursuit. You can see that primary unit right behind him. This pursuit traveling at about 50.
Well, he's slowing down.
He's all over the road here. This appears to be part of a larger burglary investigation. There is a containment area set up in the Porter Ranch area. This suspect may have fled that scene. Again, details still coming into our assignment desk, but as you can see, he's starting to push the pedal to the metal a little bit faster now, 60 to 70 miles per hour, as that primary CHP unit applies.
What? What?
Right up on his tail. Maybe showing interest in a pit maneuver at the speeds he was going.
This dude's just chilling.
It's not out of the question. On the speed on the freeway here, they have established a traffic break, so it would be safe to execute a pit maneuver if the incident commander gives the go-ahead to
car chases and cat videos. That's the aftercare.
Primary unit pulling back. Maybe he was just trying to get a better glimpse inside the vehicle. Obviously, we can see that driver in the driver's seat. Unclear whether there's anybody else inside the car, but he does have that driver's window open. very heavy.
He's like on his phone or something.
This compact silver sedan. You can see him continuing westbound on the 118 freeway.
Am I wrong? There's something in his hand.
Well into Ventura County now. Again, he hasn't seen much traffic on the 118 freeway. And the further west we get here, it is becoming even less of an issue ahead of him. Again, behind him, CHP has performed a traffic break, and they've even had the opportunity to block some of
I don't even remember what yesterday's cat video was.
with a head fake, showing signs of exiting the freeway.
Oh, the one with the tanks.
Score point, getting back.
Yeah, that was fun. I like that one.
About 50, 55 miles per hour, using the shoulder there, weaving across all lanes of traffic once again here.
So Glickly thinks he's vaping. He's got his hand out the window, just cruising.
Hanging out the window there, driving very casually down the 118 freeway.
I just said that.
70 to 80 miles per hour. Again, just a bit faster than he was earlier. For most of this pursuit, they've been traveling under 50 miles per hour, which is really below
Prometheus
limits. And now you see him picking up steam here as he commits to Princeton Avenue.
What? Whoa, he just stopped.
Pulling over on the shoulder, maybe running out of gas, and he is now on the shoulder, westbound 118 freeway at the exit ramp. CHP now with their guns drawn.
What in the hell?
Out of the vehicle, 3 units right behind him here. They are stopping traffic on the freeway, a 4th unit right behind them.
Oh, this was no fun.
Now appears to be willing to get out and give up. You can see him preparing to step out of the vehicle. He's got something in his hand. He better drop that.
You better.
Him to drop whatever that is. They want to see those hands up in the air.
Oh my God!
Looks like a cell phone in his hand. He is.
He's taking a selfie.
Who knows who he's texting here? And
he's so nonchalant.
And look at that! Look at that front left tire. Is flat. Unclear if they employed a spike strip here, but look at this. This guy is just.
I'm amazed they haven't shot him.
Look at this. He's making phone calls during this felony stop. He's got one hand by his side. Okay, now he's raising his hand up in the air with his right hand up to his ear with that cell phone. He is not complying with these officers. He is on the phone, engaged in a conversation now after.
They've got at least one AK pointed at his head right now.
Haven't seen this one. He is now on the phone, communicating with these officers. That Honda Civic is now pulled over there. We do not know if there's anybody else inside that vehicle, though we're not seeing any signs of movement in there. The driver out of the vehicle, still on his phone.
I'm amazed he is not shot.
Better call Saul. Wow. Look at him, just chilling on the freeway with the cell phone in his hand. CHP, again, trying to issue commands to the suspect.
Still got his fucking phone. He's walking away. He's like, no, I'm going to go over here.
This is incredible. They're going to move with him here. They don't have any crossfire risk here. They have the freeway.
They put their guns up.
The main lanes of the westbound side of the 118 freeway. They may rush him here in just a second.
I'm amazed they haven't rushed him.
They're going to take him into custody right here. Down he goes on the freeway. He is on the pavement.
Hello, Possum. I didn't want to say it, but that's exactly what I was thinking.
Very peacefully here. Thankfully, this coming to a, well, I was going to say not so dramatic end, but that was touchy there for a second. You almost wondered what his next move was going to be. Is he going to jump into the opposite lanes of traffic there? Who knows? He's just kind of wandered off into those main lanes there.
An American-sized man.
Jumped over that guardrail and walked across the freeway.
I'm just amazed he was the second one over there.
They're going to place the suspect under arrest. It does appear as though they have cleared the car. Have they cleared that car?
Wow.
It looks like they have indeed, or they are clearing the car.
I would say the restraint is because they know the helicopter's watching them.
They pop that trunk, but it does appear that car is empty. The driver is in custody,
Hey, Prometheus, don't say that. J.D. Vance will come running.
Investigation will continue. Again, there is a large burglary scene in Porter Ranch. The suspect you see here may be connected with that. Look at
Buggy, they pushed it back to 245. We watched the car chase.
And
it was a wild one.
Downtown. So we'll see here. LAPD, by the way, they are on scene down there. They're going to probably be the ones to take the suspect into custody. They have followed this pursuit from behind.
This year has been like the best year for car chases.
Pursuit.
We have watched so many crazy ones.
He'll eventually be
I
handed
thought you were Chesterfield.
Los Angeles police, and that will do it for our coverage.
The 240, yeah. RFK. Well, you might smell a bear because it's been in RFK's car for too long.
Predictable pursuit in Ventura County. Reporting live from Air 7, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Yeah, speaking of weight, Chris Christie. How is he not on Ozempic yet? Oh, shit. Prometheus, what are you going to watch tonight? Are you going to SmackDown? You going to Collision? You going to GCW? What you doing? I don't know if there's anything else running tonight. Ozempic. Why do people keep... I don't understand. In a church, is it Ted DiBiase? Is that his, Or wait a minute, they shut his down because he was doing the tax evasion thing. Ozempic. What? I don't understand. WWE's been the best it's been, like, possibly ever. Top to bottom. Oh, my God. And I'd like... If you had told me that in 4 years WWE would be as hot and as good as they've ever been, I wouldn't have believed it in 2000. Or I mean in 2020. Heck and Random, good evening. Ozempic. Oh, it's the pig. Oh, Ozempic. Okay. It's the pig part. I was saying peck. Ozempic. Politics has been a shit show for a while. No. Ozempic. Ozempic. I don't even fucking care about this drug. I didn't know it existed until South Park. RFK the Bear sounds like a comedy show. Oh, I didn't know that it had... Does it have other uses besides making you fart out your weight? If that's true, then that's cool. Well, good. Then I don't think it's like such a bad drug then. I thought it was just like a designer weight loss drug. Or was it they discovered you lose weight and then they started marketing it because, you know, we can make money off this. Oh, because what, like Viagra was something different, right? And they discovered it made your dick hard. And they're like, we can make money out of this. Yes, RFK had a brain worm that apparently ate at least a little bit of his brain. Oh, here we go. A minute early of the 245 that got pushed back. He doesn't look happy.
Welcome so much for being here. I'd like to introduce everyone to bring on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Was that Shanahanahana?
I'm sorry to keep everybody waiting. 16 months ago, in April of 2023, I launched my campaign for President of the United States. I began this journey as a Democrat, the party of my father, my uncle, the party which I pledged my own allegiance to long before I was old enough to vote. I attended my first Democratic convention at the age of 6 in 1960. And back then, the Democrats were the champions of the Constitution, of civil rights. The Democrats stood against authoritarianism, against censorship, against colonialism.
Aren't they still?
And unjust wars.
Aren't they still?
We were the party of labor, of the working class. The Democrats were the party of government transparency and the champion of the environment. Our party was the bulwark against big money interests and corporate power. True to its name, it was the party of democracy. As you know, I left that party in October because it had departed so dramatically from the core values that I grew up with. It had become the party of war, censorship, corruption, big pharma, big tech, big ag, and big money. When it abandoned democracy by...
It has a money problem. That's true.
CEO, the cognitive decline...
That's not exclusive to the Democrats.
I left the party to run as an independent. The mainstream of American politics and journalism derided my decision. Conventional wisdom said that it would be impossible even to get on the ballot as an independent because each state poses an insurmountable tangle of arbitrary rules for collecting signatures. I would need over 1 million signatures, something no presidential candidate in history had ever achieved. And then I'd need a team of attorneys and millions of dollars to handle all the legal challenges from the DNC. The naysayers told us
Nader.
climbing a glass version.
Nader's a hero. You keep his name out your damn
Well,
mouth.
the first thing I want to tell you is that we proved them wrong. We did it because beneath the radar of mainstream media organs, we inspired a massive independent political movement. More than 100,000 volunteers sprang into action, hopeful that they could reverse our nation's decline. Many worked 10-hour days, sometimes in blizzards and blazing heat. They sacrificed family time, personal commitments, and sleep month after month, energized by a shared vision of a nation healed of its divisions. They set up tables at churches and farmers markets. They canvassed door to door. In Utah and in New Hampshire, volunteers collected signatures in snowstorms, convincing each supporter to stop in the frigid cold, to take off their gloves, and to sign legibly. During a heat wave in Nevada, I met a tall, athletic volunteer who cheerfully told me that he had lost 25 pounds collecting signatures in 117-degree heat. To finance this effort, young Americans donated their lunch money, and senior citizens gave up part of their Social Security checks. Our 50-state organization collected those millions of signatures and more. No presidential campaign in American political history has ever done that. And so I want to thank all of those dedicated volunteers and congratulate the campaign staff who coordinated this enormous logistical feat. Your accomplishments were regarded as impossible. You carried me up that glass mountain. You pulled off a miracle. You achieved what all the pundits said could never be done. You have my deepest gratitude, and I'm never going to forget that. Not just for what you did for my campaign, but for the sacrifices you made
Kevin Heavy
of our country. You showed everyone that democracy is still possible here. It continues to survive in the press and in the idealistic human energies that still thrive beneath the canvas of neglect and of official and institutional.
Artemisia. We'll talk here in a second.
Today I'm here to tell you that I will not allow your efforts to go to waste.
And good evening to you, my friend.
I'm here to tell you that I will leverage your
afternoon.
To serve the ideals that we share, the ideals of peace, of prosperity, of freedom, of health, all the ideals that motivated my campaign. I'm here today to describe the path forward that you opened with your commitment and with your hard labors. Now, in an honest system, I believe that I would have won the election. In a system the kind that my father and my uncles thrived in, a system with open debates, with fair primaries, with regularly scheduled debate, with fair primaries, and with a truly independent media untainted by government propaganda and censorship. In a system of nonpartisan courts and election boards, everything would be different. After all, the polls
Light one up, tip one back.
showed me beating each of the other candidates, both in favorability and also in head-to-head matchups. But I'm sorry to say that while democracy may still be alive at the grassroots, it has become little more than a slogan for our political institutions, for our media, and for our government, and most sadly at all for me, the Democratic Party. In the name of saving democracy, the Democratic Party set itself to dismantling it, lacking confidence in its candidate, that its candidate could win in a fair election at the voting booth. The DNC waged continual legal warfare against both President Trump and myself. Each time that our volunteers turned in those towering boxes of signatures needed to get on the ballot, the DNC dragged us into court, state after state, attempting to erase their work and to subvert the will of the voters who had signed those petitions.
He absolutely has a point there.
Line judges.
It's not like the Republicans won't do it
Off the
if they
to throw President Trump in jail.
if they think it'll help them.
It ran a sham primary that was rigged to prevent any serious challenge to President Biden. Then, when a predictably bungled debate performance precipitated the palace coup against President Biden, the same shadowy DNC
Palace coup
appointed his successor, also without an election. They installed a candidate who was so unpopular with voters that she dropped out in 2020 without winning a single delegate. My uncle and my father
Is the audio bad, Snicks? I think that's just his voice.
prided themselves on their capacity to go
There's a
toe
little echo, but it's not bad.
in the battle over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days.
Yeah, she's been a little busy, motherfucker.
How are people to choose when they don't know?
What a disingenuous attack.
And how can this look to the rest of the world? My father and my uncle were always conscious of America's image abroad because of our nation's role as the template for democracy, the role model for democratic processes, and the leader of the free world. Instead of showing us her substance and character, the DNC and its media organs engineered a surge of popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, nothing. No policies,
Kelly.
no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors and balloons in a highly produced Chicago circus. There in Chicago, a string of Democratic speakers mentioned Donald Trump 147 times just on the first day. Who needs a policy when you have Trump to hate? In contrast, at the RNC convention, President Biden was mentioned only twice in 4 days. I do interviews every day. Many of you have interviewed me. Anybody who asks gets to interview me. Some days I do as many as
I'm desperate for attention.
President Trump, who actually was nominated and won an election, also does interviews.
Sitting cow.
How did the Democratic Party choose a candidate that has never done an interview or debate during the entire election cycle? We know the answers. They did it by weaponizing the government agencies.
What?
By abandoning democracy. They did it by suing the opposition. and by disenfranchising American voters. What most alarms me isn't how the Democratic Party conducts its internal affairs or runs its candidates.
Remember, he'd be saying the exact opposite of this today if Harris had given him a spot in the administration. This is wild.
Of the federal agencies. When a U.S. president colludes with or outright coerces media companies to censor political
speech,
it's an attack on our most sacred right of free expression, and that's the very right upon which all of our other constitutional rights rest. President Biden mocked Vladimir Putin's 88% landslide in the Russian elections, observing that Putin and his party controlled the Russian press, and that Putin prevented serious opponents from appearing on the ballot.
He literally killed Alexei Navalny.
He also prevented opponents from appearing on the ballot. And our television networks exposed themselves.
I didn't know he was that low. That might have been the audio issue. I'm sorry.
Over the course of more than a year in a campaign where my poll numbers reached at times in the high 20s, the DNC-aligned mainstream media networks maintain a near-perfect embargo on interviews with me. During his 10-month presidential campaign in 1992, Ross Perot gave 34 interviews on mainstream networks. In contrast, during the 16 months since I declared, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and CNN combined gave only 2 live interviews from me. Those networks instead.
Okay, cool. Did you go on Joe Rogan? I don't think he did he?
Often vile pejoratives and defamatory smears. Some of those same networks and colluded with the DNC to keep me off the debate stage. Representatives of those networks are in this room right now, and I'll just take a moment to ask you to consider the
North. Good afternoon.
Your institutions have abdicated.
Did he go on with Rogan? Because if he did, that's bigger than any network.
The duty of a free press to safeguard democracy and to challenge always the party in power. Instead of maintaining that posture of fear, skepticism toward authority, your institutions have made themselves government.
Yeah, a month ago.
And stenographers for the organs of power. You didn't alone cause the devolution of American democracy, but you could have prevented it. The Democratic Party's censorship of social media was even more of a naked exercise of executive power. This week, a federal judge, Terry Doty, upheld my injunction against President Biden, calling the White House's censorship project, quote, the most egregious violation of the First Amendment in the history of the United States of America. Doty's previous 155-page decision details how just 37 hours after he took the oath of office, swearing to uphold the Constitution, President Biden and his White House opened up a portal and then invited the CIA, the FBI, CISA, which is a censorship agency, it's the center of the censorship industrial complex, DHS, the IRS, and other agencies to censor me and other political dissidents on social media. Even today, users who try to post my campaign video.
Oh, hey, I just got banned from Facebook earlier today.
This content violates community standards. 2 days after Judge Doty rendered his decision this week, Facebook was still attaching warning labels to an online petition calling on ABC to include me in the upcoming debate. They said that violates community standards, their community standards. The mainstream media was once
the
First Amendment and democratic principles, and it's joined this systemic attack on democracy. It also, the media justifies their censorship on the grounds of combating misinformation, but governments and oppressors don't censor lies. They don't fear lies. They fear the truth, and that's what they censor. And I don't want any of this to sound like a personal complaint, because it's not.
Exactly what it is.
For me, it's all part of a journey, and it's a journey that I signed up with. But I need to make these observations because I think they're
wrong one.
Us doing the thing that we need to do as citizens in a democracy to assess where we are in this country and what our democracy still looks like, and the assumptions about U.S. leadership around the globe. And are we living?
I guess I deserved it.
Still a role model for democracy in this country, or have we made it, a kind of a joke? And here's the good news: while mainstream outlets denied me a critical platform,
maybe if I just used 1G.
Ideas which have especially flourished among young voters and independent voters, thanks to the alternative media. Many months ago, I promised the American people that I would...
Maybe I should have just done NI.
Spoiler.
No, yeah, no G's at all. That probably would have been safe, and everybody still would have got it.
In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to electoral victory in the face of this relentless, systematic censorship and media control. So I cannot in good conscience ask my staff and volunteers to keep working their long hours or ask my donors to keep giving when I cannot honestly tell them that I have a real path to the White House. Furthermore, our polling consistently showed that by staying on the ballot in the battleground states, I would likely hand the election over.
I'm sorry, Torchy.
With whom I disagree.
Care if you like me or not.
Essential issues: censorship, war, and chronic disease. Oh, I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it. My name will remain on the ballot in most states. If you live in a blue state, you can vote for me without harming or helping President Trump or Vice President Harris. In red states, the same will apply. I encourage you to vote for me. And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of them...
We're getting there, 7 Heavy.
270.
I got another chase for you.
Possible. In fact, today our polling shows them tying at 269 to 269.
Noise.
I could conceivably still end up in the White House.
That's why that one Nebraska vote counts.
In about 10 battleground states where my presence would be a spoiler, I'm going to remove my name. And I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me.
I do have a huge backlog of absurd news. Absolutely.
Suspending my campaign activities. Not only did we do the impossible by collecting 1 million signatures, we changed the national political conversation forever. Chronic disease, free speech, government corruption, breaking our addiction to war, have moved to the center of politics. I can say to all who have worked so hard in the last year and a half, thank you for a job well done. 3 great causes drove me to enter this race in the first place, primarily. And these are the principal causes that persuaded me to leave the Democratic Party. And run as an independent. And now to throw my support to President Trump. The causes were free speech, the war in Ukraine, and the war on our children. I've already described some of my personal experiences and struggles with the government's censorship industrial complex. I want to say a word about the Ukraine war. The military industrial complex has provided us with a familiar comic book justification like they do on every war, that this one is a noble effort to stop a supervillain, Vladimir Putin, from invading the Ukraine and then to thwart his Hitler-like march across Europe. In fact, tiny Ukraine is a proxy in a geopolitical struggle initiated by the ambitions of the U.S. neocons for American global hegemony. I'm not excusing Putin for invading Ukraine. He had other options. But the war is Russia's predictable response to the reckless neocon project of extending NATO to encircle Russia, a hostile act. The credulous media rarely explain to Americans that we unilaterally walked away from 2 intermediate nuclear weapons treaties with Russia and then put nuclear-ready Aegis missile systems in Romania and Poland. This is a hostile act. And that the Biden White House repeatedly spurned Russia's offer to settle peacefully.
They cummed all over it.
2014, when U.S. agencies overthrew the democratically elected government of Ukraine and installed a hand-picked pro-Western government that launched this deadly civil war against
He is COVID.
Ukraine. In 2019, America walked away from a peace treaty, the Minsk Agreement, that had been negotiated.
Just new boo goofing. I love Tom Lennon.
And then in April of 2022, we wanted the war. In April of 2022, President Biden sent Boris Johnson to Ukraine to force President Zelensky to tear up a peace agreement that he and the Russians had already signed, and the Russians were withdrawing troops.
Warlord, can I get a fact check on that? I don't think that's true.
And that peace agreement would have brought peace to the region and would have allowed Donbass and Lugansk to remain part of Ukraine. President Biden stated that
Boris Johnson got sent by Biden to kill a peace deal.
was regime change in Russia. His defense secretary, Lloyd Austin, simultaneously
That Russia was already withdrawing.
America's purpose in the war was to exhaust the Russian army, to degrade its capacity to fight anywhere else in the world. These objectives, of course, have nothing to do with what they were telling Americans about protecting Ukraine's sovereignty. Ukraine is a victim in this war, and it's a victim of the West. Since then, of Russia and both Russia and the West. Since then, we have, since tearing up that agreement, forcing Zelensky to tear up the agreement, we've squandered the flower of Ukrainian youth, as many as 600,000 Ukrainian kids, and over 100,000.
Did he just say he wants to deflower Ukrainian youth?
All of whom we should be mourning, have died, and the Ukraine's infrastructure is destroyed. The war has been a disaster for our country as well. We squandered nearly $200 billion already, and these are badly...
Has Boris or the Biden administration claimed it, Libertad?
...all over our country. The Nord Stream pipeline sabotage and the sanctions have destroyed Europe's industrial base, which formed the bulwark of U.S. national security. A strong Germany with a strong industry is a much, much stronger deterrent to Russia, and a Germany that is deindustrialized.
Well, I said we waited this long. He's only going to speak 5 minutes, but he didn't disappoint, actually.
Russia into a disaster.
Much longer than 5 minutes.
With China and Iran, we're closer to the brink of nuclear exchange than at any time since 1962. And the neocons in the White House don't seem to care at all. Our moral authority and our economy are in shambles, and the war gave rise to the emergence of BRICS, which now threatens to replace the dollar as the global reserve currency. This is a first-class calamity for our country. Judging by her bellicose, belligerent speech last night in Chicago,
So there was no deal to be tore up.
President Harris,
There hadn't been any agreement.
fantastic advocate for this and other neocon military adventures. And President Trump says that he will reopen negotiations
And it was the U.S. that didn't.
and end the war overnight as soon as he becomes president. This alone.
Ukraine won security guarantees from the West, and they wouldn't give them to them.
Last summer, it looked like no candidate was willing to negotiate a quick end to the Ukraine war, to tackle chronic disease epidemic, to protect free speech, our constitutional freedoms, to clean corporate influence out of our government, or to defy the neocons and their agenda of endless military adventurism. But now one of the two candidates has...
There was a meeting, there was no deal, ever. And they weren't close to a deal. That's what happened.
Me and his administration.
Rude cat.
I'm speaking, of course, of Donald Trump. Less than 2 hours after President Trump narrowly escaped assassination, Callie Means called me on my cell phone. I was then in Las Vegas.
Great.
He was arguably the leading advocate for food safety, for soil regeneration, and for ending the chronic disease epidemic that is destroying America's health and ruining our economy. Callie has exposed the insidious corruption at the FDA, the NIH, the HHS, and the USDA that has caused the epidemic. Callie had been working on and off for my campaign, advising me on those subjects since the beginning. And those subjects have been my primary focus for the last 20 years. I was delighted when Callie told me that day that he had also been advising President Trump. He told me President Trump was anxious to talk.
What's he even talking about anymore?
And other subjects, and to explore avenues of cooperation. He asked if I would take a call from the president. President Trump telephoned me a few minutes later, and I met with him the following day. A few weeks later, I met again with President Trump and his family members and closest advisors in Florida. In a series of long, intense discussions, I was surprised to discover that we are aligned on many key issues. In those meetings, he suggested that we join forces as a unity party. We talked about Abraham Lincoln's team of rivals. That arrangement would allow us to disagree publicly and privately, and fiercely if need be.
Trump ain't watching this.
Issues over which we differ, while working together on the existential issues upon which we are in concordance. I was a ferocious critic of many of the policies.
Oh, is he, Torchy? Is he truthing?
And there are still issues and approaches upon which we continue to have very serious differences. But we are aligned with each other on other key issues, like ending the forever wars, ending the childhood disease epidemics, securing the border, protecting freedom of speech, unraveling the corporate capture of our regulatory agencies, getting the U.S. intelligence agencies out of the business of propagandizing and censoring and surveilling Americans and interfering with our elections. Following my first discussion with President Trump, I tried unsuccessfully to open similar discussions.
I gotta pee again.
Vice President Harris. Vice President Harris declined to meet or even to speak with me. Suspending my candidacy is a heart-rending decision for me, but I'm convinced that it's the best hope for ending the Ukraine war and ending the chronic disease epidemic that is eroding our nation's vitality from the inside, and for finally protecting free speech. I feel a moral obligation to use this opportunity to save millions of American children above all things. In case some of you don't realize how dire the condition is, our children's health and chronic disease in general, I would urge you to view Dr. Carlson's recent interview with Callie Means and his sister, Dr. Casey Means, who is the top graduate of her class at Stanford Medical School. This is an issue that affects all of us far more directly and urgently than any culture war issue, and all the other issues that we obsess on and that are tearing apart our country. This is the most important issue. Therefore, it has the potential to bring us together. So let me share a little bit.
You still going?
I believe it's so urgent. Today, 2/3, we spend more on healthcare than any country on earth, twice what they pay in Europe. And yet, we have the worst health outcomes of any nation in the world. We're about 79th in health outcomes behind Costa Rica and Nicaragua and Mongolia and other countries. Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. And during the COVID epidemic, we had the highest body count of any country in the world. We had 16% of the COVID deaths, and we only have 4.2% of the world's
You're partly responsible for that. Your side. Your ilk.
We have the highest chronic disease rate on earth, and the average American who died from COVID had 3.8 chronic diseases. So these were people who had immune system collapse, who had mitochondrial dysfunction.
Buddy, like half the fucking country has a
Thirds of American
comorbidity.
Adults and children suffer from chronic health issues. 50 years ago, that number was less than 1%. So we've gone from 1% to 66%. In America, 74% of Americans are now overweight or obese, and 50% of our children. 120 years ago, when somebody was obese, they were sent to the circus. There were case reports done about them. Obesity
Hey, good evening.
was unknown. In Japan, the childhood obesity rate is 3%.
No, because like the FDA could actually do some good.
Half of Americans have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes.
If there is one thing us leftists can agree with RFK on, it would be his legal work against corporations.
A typical pediatrician would see one case of diabetes during his entire career.
Ain't letting him anywhere near the FDA.
Today, 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door is diabetic or pre-diabetic.
This motherfucker was a great environmental lawyer.
Cause diabetes, also causing Alzheimer's, which is now classified as diabetes.
Yep, Drake.
And it's costing this country more than our military budget every year. There's been an explosion of neurological illnesses that I never saw as a kid. ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, Tourette's syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, Asperger's, autism. In the year 2000, the autism rate was 1 in 1,500. Now autism rates in kids are 1 in 36, according to CDC nationally. Nobody's talking about this.
Oh yeah, he could also do a lot of damage at the FDA.
It's in California, has autism. And this is a crisis that 77% of our kids are too disabled to serve in the United States military.
Huh?
What is happening to our country? And why isn't this in the headlines every single day? There's nobody else in the world that is experiencing this. This is only happening in America. About 18%.
Predominantly industrial pollution.
You know, there has been no change in diagnosis, which the industry sometimes like to say. There has been no change in screening. This is a change in incidence. In my generation, 70-year-old men, the autism rates are about 1 in 10,000. In my kids' generation, 1 in 34. I'll repeat, in California, 1 in 22. Why are we letting this happen?
To be fair, the word is different in Britain.
These are the most
It's like their word for cigarettes as well, different.
country. How can we let this happen?
He doesn't really have a point, Bike Shop.
18%
Welcome in, though.
of American teens now have fatty liver disease. That's like 1 out of every 5. That disease, when I was a kid, only affected late-stage alcoholics who were elderly. Cancer rates are skyrocketing in the young and the old. Young adult cancers are up 79%. 1 in 4 American women is on antidepressant medication.
Carol's the best thing about him.
Teens have a mental health diagnosis. And 15% of high schoolers are on Adderall, and 500,000 children on SSRI.
The internet was a mistake.
So what's causing this suffering? I'll name 2 culprits. First, and the worst, is ultra-processed food. About 70% of American children's diet is ultra-processed. That means industrial manufactured in a factory. These foods...
Porn does rule. Internet porn is awesome.
Processed sugar, ultra-processed grains. And
yes, like Cheryl is very liberal as far as I know.
Many of them formerly worked for the cigarette industry, which purchased all the big food companies in the 1970s.
Who knows what's going on?
Deployed thousands of scientists.
I thought it was 76%, Fo.
Chemicals to make the food more addictive. And these ingredients...
My source says 76%, your source says 73%.
Humans aren't biologically adapted to eat them. Hundreds of these chemicals are now banned in Europe, but ubiquitous in American processed foods. The second culprit is toxic chemicals in our food, in our medicine, in our environment. Pesticides, food additives, pharmaceutical drugs.
I'm not sure, Torchy. If they were, they probably cut out already.
This assault on our children's cells and hormones is unrelenting. To name just one problem, many
Prometheus,
increase
Dougie.
Because young children are ingesting so many of these hormone disruptors. America's puberty rate is now occurring at age 10 to 13, which is 6 years earlier than girls were reaching puberty in 1900.
He is crying. He is crying.
Puberty rates of any continent on the earth.
Or a worm burrowing out.
No, this isn't because of better nutrition. This is not normal. Breast cancer is also estrogen.
Bo wins the internet today.
1 in 8 women. We are mass poisoning all of our children and our adults.
Don't leave me. I've got car chase for you. I've got absurd news.
Tragic epidemic of chronic disease. It seems almost crass to mention the damage it does to our economy. But I'll say, it is crippling the nation's finances. When my uncle was president, our country spent $0 on chronic disease. Today, government health care spending is almost all for chronic.
Modern medicine was only like a couple of decades old.
And it is the fastest growing budget item in the federal budget. And chronic disease costs more to the economy as a whole, costs at least...
Your uncle was president, 40 years after the Depression?
And that's a 20% drag on everything we do.
Probably Drake.
We aspire to. Poor and minority communities suffer disproportionately.
It was on the 118 earlier. We already watched one.
DEI or about bigotry of any kind. This dwarfs anything. We are poisoning the poor. We are systematically poisoning minorities across this country. Industry lobbyists have made sure that most of the food stamp lunch program, about 70% of food stamps and about 70 or 77% of school lunches are processed foods. There's no vegetables. There's nothing that you would want to eat. We are just poisoning the poor citizens, and that's why they have the highest.
I mean, that's true.
Disease burden of anybody, any demographic in our country, and the highest in the world. The same food industry lobbied to make sure that nearly all agricultural subsidies...
The food industry is an issue.
...commodity crops that are the feedstock of processed food industry.
But corn.
These policies are destroying small farms, and they're destroying our soils.
He's right about that. See, that's the problem with RFK.
I think 8 times as much in subsidies to tobacco than we do to fruits and vegetables. It makes no sense. If we want a healthy country, the good news is that we can change all this. We can change it very, very quickly. America can get healthy again. To do that, we need to do 3 things. First, we need to root out the corruption.
In a lake of nonsense. Yep.
Second, we need to change incentives in our healthcare system. And third,
I ain't telling you to take the bag of crazy. Not by a long shot.
80% of NIH grants go to people who have conflicts of interest. These are the people.
If you would vote for RFK, you just fell out of a coconut tree.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
A new panel to NIH to decide the food recommendations. And they're all people who are from the industry. They're all people who are from the processed food companies. They're deciding.
He's not scheduled to speak until 7, so that means like 8:30. Fucking warlord.
It's on the food pyramid, and what goes to our school lunch programs, what go to the program, the Swiss program, the food stamp programs. They're all corrupted and conflicted.
Brother, I can't stream all day.
FDA, USDA, and CDC, all of them are controlled by giant for-profit corporations. 75% of the FDA's funding doesn't come from taxpayer, it comes from pharma. And pharma executives and consultants and lobbyists cycle in and out of these agencies. With President Trump's backing, I'm going to change that. We're going to staff.
I tried to time this so people watching on YouTube could get the premiere of the music video, but
from industry funding. We're going to make sure the decisions of consumers, doctors, and patients are informed by unbiased science. A sick child is the best thing for the pharmaceutical industry. When American children or adults get sick with a chronic condition, they're put on medication for their entire life. Imagine what will happen when Medicare starts paying for Ozempic,
yeah, I guess it.
which costs $1,500 a month. And
What are you talking about Ozempic now?
as young as 6. All for a condition, obesity, that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. And 74% of Americans are obese. The cost, if all of them took their Ozempic,
I don't even know how I said it that time.
$3 trillion a year. This is a drug that is made by Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, and the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends change in diet to treat obesity and exercise.
It probably doesn't recommend it for losing weight.
Ozempic to children at age 6. Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe, and virtually its entire value is based upon its projections of what it's going to sell, of the Ozempic it's going to sell to America. And we have the food lobbyists have a bill in front of Congress today that is backed by the White House, backed by Vice President Harris and President Biden, to allow this to happen. This $3 trillion cost that is going to bankrupt our country. For a fraction of that amount, we could buy organic food for every American family, 3 meals a day, and eliminate diabetes altogether. We're going to bring healthy food back to school lunches. We're going to stop subsidizing the worst foods with our agricultural subsidies. We're going to get toxic chemicals out of our food. We're going to reform the entire food system. And for that, we need new leadership in Washington. Because unfortunately, both the Democrats and the Republican parties are in cahoots with the big food producers, Big Pharma and Big Ag, which are among the DNC's major donors. Vice President Harris...
I don't think I can change the time of the premiere.
...this issue. 4 more years of Democratic rule will complete the consolidation of corporate and neocon power, and our children will be the ones who suffer most. I got involved with chronic disease 20 years ago, not because I chose to or wanted to. It was essentially thrust upon me. It was an issue that should have been central to the environmental movement. I was a central leader at that time, but it was widely ignored by all the institutions, including the NGOs, who should have been protecting our kids against toxins. It was an orphaned issue, and I had a weakness.
I guess I can't change it because it was like within 5 minutes of it or some shit.
Children.
It was stuck.
Sicker and sicker. I had 11 siblings, and I had 7 kids myself. I was conscious of what was happening in their...
The brain worms were what, around 2011?
Watch these sick kids, these damaged kids. In that generation, almost all of them are damaged.
Because I misspoke the other day and said the bear was before the brain worms, but apparently it was right after.
19 years, I prayed every morning that God would put me in a position to end this calamity. The chronic disease crisis was one of the primary reasons for my running for president, along with ending censorship in the Ukraine war. It's the reason I've made the heart-wrenching decision to suspend my campaign and to support...
No, it was like 2012, or no...
This decision is agonizing for me because of the difficulties it causes my wife and my children and my friends. But I...
2013?
...that this is what I've meant to do. And that certainty gives me internal peace, even in storms. If I'm given the chance to fix the chronic disease crisis and reform our food production, I promise that within...
Yeah, it was like 2013.
We will watch chronic disease burden lift dramatically.
And the brain worm was like 2011, 2012.
Again, within 4 years, America will be a healthy country. We will be stronger, more resilient, more optimistic, and happier. I won't fail in doing this. Ultimately, the future, however it happens, is in God's hands. and in the hands of the American voters and those of President Trump. If President Trump is elected and honors his word, the vast burden of chronic disease that now demoralizes and bankrupts the country will disappear. This is a spiritual journey for me. I reached my decision through deep prayer, through hard-nosed logic, and I asked myself, what choices must I make to maximize my chances to save America's children and restore national health? I felt that if I refused this opportunity, I would not be able to look myself in the mirror, knowing that I could have saved lives of countless children and reversed this country's chronic disease epidemic. I'm 70 years old. I may have a decade to be effective. I can't imagine that President Harris would allow me or anyone to solve these dire problems. After 8 years of President Harris, any opportunity for me to fix the problem will be out of my reach forever. President Trump has told me that he wants this to be his legacy. I'm choosing to believe that this time
I always thought he was atheist.
His son, his biggest donors, his closest friends, and all support this objective. My joining the Trump campaign will be a difficult sacrifice for my wife and children, but worthwhile if there's even a small chance of saving these kids. Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country and our children is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other. That's why I launched my campaign to unify America. My dad and
how'd that go for you?
Such an enduring mark on the character of our nation, not so much because of any particular policies that they promoted, but because they were able to inspire.
He did. I was about to say she did. No, Kamala did not do October 7th.
As a national community, held together by ideals.
Trump didn't he post that, though?
Love into the intentions and hearts of ordinary Americans. And to unify a national populist movement of Americans, blacks and whites, Hispanics, urban and...
Watch me have to eat my words and video comes out. Fucking Harris is over there at the music festival with a fucking shawl around her head with an AK.
Among Americans from their memory.
I don't know. I think that'd make me like her a lot more.
And that I intend to...
It would definitely make her more appealing to my chat.
Instead of vitriol and polarization, I will appeal to the values.
Yes, Shelley, I'm sorry.
The goals that we could achieve if only we weren't at each other's throats. The most unifying theme for all Americans is that we all love our children. If we all unite around that issue now, we can finally give them the protection, the health, and the future that they deserve.
Time Justin out.
Thank you all very much.
Paradigm shift. Promote yourself, Paradigm Shift. Somebody give my boy a shout out. And I will absolutely go listen to your diss track. That sounds fucking awesome.
Thank you everybody for attending. This concludes our program for the day.
Acknowledge my boy Paradigm Shift. I cannot wait to hear what Sam Cedar has to say about this on Monday. RFK being his former personal friend. Acquaintance, I don't think they were ever that close. But they were friendly enough. Yeah, he's been on vacation this week. That's what I said on Monday. I'm going to do my best to come back for Trump tonight, guys. I've got so much shit to do, and I am so fucking tired. So please forgive me if, like, I end up passed out. Or Curiouser comes over and we end up going out to dinner or something. I'm gonna stick with you here for a little bit. It's apparently started, but he doesn't come on until 7. Oh, he's still on vacation next week? Damn it, Sam. Why would Sam take vacation during the DNC? Like, I know he's been doing the coverage. He was there at the beginning of the week, but like, what the fuck? He's addicted to these cruises now, isn't he? That's the last thing I would ever do is go on a cruise. Those things are nasty. Trump is speaking now at an Olive Garden? Oh, I'll be damned. Well, let's do it.
What's happening on the other side? They'll destroy our country. We'll end up in
It is totally an Olive Garden.
29 if they get in with what they're proposing. Last month, Joe Biden stopped at one of Javier's restaurants to tout his support in the Latino community. And, you know, Joe walked in. It's like not the most, it wasn't too exciting when he walked in. He didn't know where the hell he was. What kind of a restaurant? Is this Italian? He says, is this a French restaurant? Looks like a French restaurant. And, we have to focus on her because he's gonzo, so we'll focus on her. She's terrible. She's worse than he is.
We were just mocking him for being in an Olive Garden. He was mocking...
He's very happy because...
Joe Biden.
He is considered to be a brilliant president by comparison. He's a very happy man. And she's considered to be the worst vice president in history. I don't know who the hell did that. If they do polls and they do studies, she's considered to be the worst vice president in history.
Yeah, they've done studies. You can go to like PubMed.
And now she got the nomination. She didn't get any votes, but she got the nomination. Explain that one. But I understand that Javier has.
I have explained it, and you people keep bringing that shit up. I'm tired of it.
Say a couple of words. Thank you. About the meeting you had with Joe.
Oh, thank you for being here, President.
Yeah, I'm not high enough for this shit.
Me and my family really appreciated you guys give us the opportunity to host this event, so important. And I was telling them earlier, before you got here, that I came when Ronald Reagan was the president. And you know what? I really miss those times. So I need you to please make America great again.
I mean, when you had a path to citizenship?
Thanks, Abby.
I think they call it pulling the ladder up when you do shit like that.
You got a good sampler.
You got a good sampler at the Olive Garden.
My daughter over there.
Called the Tour of Italy.
And she agrees with you 100%.
Good.
My daughter over there.
It's a beautiful daughter.
She really.
Keep her away from Trump.
Oh, I see. She agrees on that. Well, that's a good thing to agree on. That's very nice. Thank you very much, Sally. Appreciate it. Great job you're doing. So thank you to Javier, to everybody under my leadership. Our Latino American community has prospered like, as you know, and as he knows, prospered like...
It really made the white woman go nuts, didn't it?
And you know...
Yeah, Latinos!
The governor of Texas called me. The last election, we won every border town along the border, and they're almost entirely Hispanic. And we won all of them. We won the votes. First time, they said, since Reconstruction. So I said,
yeah, it's totally a picture of Venice, right? Like, I'm not wrong.
Complicated word in a sense because it means a lot of things to a lot of people. But I said, that means a civil war. Is that what you're referring to? That's right. Since the Civil War, that's never happened. And we did it twice. We did it in 16, and we did even better in 20. We actually did much better in 20 than we did in 16. But lots of strange things happen in life, right? But we're doing better now than either of those two. There's more spirit. I mean, you look at outside in the street, how many people are out there. And I only hope they stick around when I leave and they come into your restaurant. You'll never be able to serve them. But it's just too many people. But you're
Like,
going to see.
what is that? That's not been altered.
Household incomes hit an all-time.
I like his eyebrows.
Administration. Hispanic American unemployment rate hit the lowest it's ever hit.
Like, seriously, that's not been altered. You can see him looking like that right now.
A record low, the lowest number ever. And by the way, it's now inched up very substantially. And yesterday, Javier, they did something that was terrible. It was just found out. They reported that 818,000 jobs were here.
Guys, you know that wrestling show I keep telling you I want to pitch to Matt Bender? Maybe I should pitch it to Paradigm Shift.
The most important day in the history of our country, the election. They were going to report it.
That's some freaking Paradigm Shift team up for a
whistleblower.
podcast.
Somebody leaked it. There was a leaker, a friendly leaker, a patriot leaker, leaked it, and that's not a revision. You know, that usually they call that a revision, like there's, 10,000 jobs. This is 818. I think it was the biggest number, certainly in memory. 818,000 fake jobs they reported. They don't exist.
Artemisia.
And this is what we're dealing with. And that's
don't go away, my friend.
Big downward number on their reporting. But they reported these jobs, and now they've had to revise it and take them off the books. More than 1.5 million Hispanic Americans.
You can cut away from Trump here for a second. Let me point out that I am banned on Facebook. As we were having our discussion, I ended up receiving notification from Facebook that I have a 30-day ban right now, so I have not been able to respond to you. And if you were to go and check your Facebook message requests, you're still with me, right? You didn't pop in and then leave. If you go check your message requests, you will see this message. I got Facebook banned while we were talking, unrelated. Hit me up on Discord or Twitter and let's set up a time to chat. Only have a couple of rules. Has to be live. You can make whatever clips you want, but you need to leave the full VOD up. Now, I see you responded to me on YouTube. I would guess if you go into your, because YouTube's really bad about hiding comments. If you were to go into your held comments, you will probably find a comment from me that also said, hit me up on Discord or Twitter. Let's set something up. So I'm certainly not ducking you.
So the Nevada family spent $32,000 more under this.
When you want to do it, my friend.
Team of people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Now Kamala is promising communist price controls on food. Her plan will cause catastrophic inflation, shortages of rationing, the restaurant industry.
Shortages of rationing.
And I say welcome to 1929. Do you know what?
If you want to stick around, we'll do it after Trump.
You don't want to know, right? You don't want.
If you want to, or we can set it up for another time.
They're planning. Kamala is also pledging.
You can have a meeting about a meeting if you want to.
In history, and Las Vegas hospitality industry would actually never recover from that. It's the largest tax hikes in history. And you heard her words last night. She doesn't talk about that. You notice they talked. I guess she mentioned the Trump name many times, like 19 or 21 or something.
What was it? 760 something. They mentioned Biden at the RNC.
She didn't mention the bad economy. She didn't mention crime. She didn't mention any of the things that she's supposed to be mentioning. But
all right, we'll do it sometime this week, my friend.
Or some crazy thing.
Hope you have a great day with your kiddos.
About 50 times.
Don't work too hard. Crystal Cat, welcome in.
Thank you. Thank you. I said, what the hell is wrong with her? But then she recovered. She did much better. But she didn't tell anything. She didn't say anything. She talked about her family, how beautiful San Francisco was. I just put out a note. I said,
yeah, that's what most candidates do.
It's very important because what the hell happened? Under her, as district attorney, she destroyed San Francisco. And then as the attorney general, she ruined the state of California with her stupid policies. But she was showing her beautiful life in San Francisco, and everybody was joking. That was before she destroyed it. She's supported the idea of a 70 to 80% tax hike. I don't think the man behind me will be happy. You wouldn't mind paying 80% in taxes, would you?
Oh, yeah, they're going to raise taxes on that dude, 80%.
For America, right? 80% tax rate, and now
her proposal was 25%.
Realized capital gains. In other words, the appraisers are going to make a lot of money. which will soon be applied to small business owners, and you will be forced to sell your restaurant immediately.
So he can't actually read.
Won't do the job, and this restaurant will be closed. But we're not going to let that happen, Javier. We're going to make it bigger.
I stand corrected.
Like the country. So this is really beyond socialist, because she's a socialist, but she's really a Marxist. A Marxist is a step beyond. Remember how you said at the State of the Union? We will not have socialism in America. We will never be a socialist country. I was right. We skipped over socialism. We're down to communism, okay? I was right about it, though. I like to be right. Thank you. I like that woman. Where are you? I like that. She said, you're always right. But this is beyond socialism. This is the beginning of communism, and it really is, and we can't let that happen. You look at Venezuela, you look at some of these countries that we all know so well, and what happened to them can happen to us. It's just a bigger version. That's where we're headed if this group gets elected. But we'll not let Kamala and the group turn America into a communist nation. Not going to let it.
I'm really just stunned finding out that he actually can read.
Cut taxes, and what we're doing is we're cutting.
Unless there's like pictures.
Regulations. We're going to defeat inflation, rapidly bring prices down, and make America affordable again. It's not affordable. People.
Or maybe it's like Charlie from Sunny in Philadelphia. It's just symbols and shit, and he knows how to read it.
To help seniors, we will have no tax on Social Security benefits. That's a big deal. I don't know. I'm trying to figure for restaurant workers, and all workers.
Yeah, the RFK event's the one that's at 7 o'clock tonight.
Social Security, no tax, because they've driven them out of business. These people have suffered, and they've done things the right way. They've saved, and then the inflation destroyed them. And we're going to have no.
You get your Trump now. I'm not coming back 7 o'clock tonight.
And it's very important.
Nobody wants to watch RFK ramble and Trump ramble.
Kamala wants to bring sky high.
Okay, some of you guys are masochists, and you really do.
The rest of the country, and they have just destroyed California. First time ever, more people left California than came in.
RFK was better than this.
Because they have the best weather, the most beautiful land, everything is.
You guys can tell me to cut it off. There is a car chase waiting on you.
He's got a great line.
Whenever you say go.
You know, he's got a good line of stuff. We're doing great in California. You know the U-Haulets and the trailers and stuff.
Up chase it is.
Florida, others.
Yeah, towards you. Don't leave us. Let's do a police chase.
This up in Sky 5 along with my pilot Anton Imler. We're over a high-speed pursuit. LAPD Van Nuys Division officers are in pursuit of this black Alfa Romeo. He just made
This happened last night.
Freeway, made a U-turn here. He goes back over the 101 freeway. Came out of the Van Nuys Division on surface streets, jumped on the 101 southbound. Now he might be getting back onto the 101 freeway here, going back northbound. Might be coming back towards us, Anton. Okay.
I was tired of Trump too.
Back on the northbound side of the 101 freeway, so made an exit here in downtown LA. He's going to jump
I'm so hungry.
to the 101 northbound, hitting the gas.
Damn! This is going to be good.
We're in. He hit in and out of traffic. He was in heavy traffic southbound on the southbound side of the 101. Wow, he cut that car off. He might take the 110 here. Looking like he is going to take the 110 here. Looks like it might be.
I do it sometimes, Crystal, but it's usually being sleep deprived.
Well, no, I think that's going to go north. I think he just turned northbound 110. Yep, northbound 110 towards the
X Factor.
High speed is going to have a series of tunnels to go through here.
This one could end in a crash.
Adjusted through this part of the freeway.
He's driving erratically. I'll go ahead and tell you this video is not very long, so knowing that fact.
And towards the 5, in and out of traffic here. We're working on getting the confirmation on what the WAN is on this. Anton, let's slide to the right side of the freeway. CHP is being asked to take over the pursuit. There's the first tunnel. He's going in.
Did I dream that we watched a woman slam her car into a parked car on the freeway, and then she got out and was like crawling over the top of a truck, or did that actually happen?
Wow, here's the fourth one.
That actually happened, didn't it?
It's a sharp turn onto the 5 if he takes it. Nope, he's going to go straight on the 110 freeway towards Pasadena. Airship over here with the night sunlight, tracking the vehicle.
We'll get a cat video next. That's your next video.
And
oh nope, I've got one more I want to play for you than a cat video.
Figueroa. He's going to make that right turn along with the other car. He's going to make a U-turn here.
Oh, that's right. They were kind of
to the freeway.
They were non-binary looking.
Another U-turn real quick. He did that.
Angelum. It's totally cool.
Now heading.
It happens. We all make mistakes.
On the 110 south.
I used to be a Republican. I was president of the Young Republicans in high school.
Once again here, in and out of traffic.
Always use that caveat that, like, they voted for me because they wanted to stop somebody else from having it as a prank because he really wanted it, and I didn't.
Stop it for. This driver
and there's only like 4 or 5 of us in the club anyway, so caveat. But I was indeed
division of
president of the Young Republicans in high school.
Freeway southbound through Hollywood all the way in.
Cats aren't real.
Exited, and then got back on the north.
And what's that thing? What's that thing right there?
To the northbound 110. Now we're southbound 110.
You a figment of my imagination? I don't think he's very impressed with your idea that cats aren't real.
Wow, look at the speeds here.
Judging you.
California Highway Patrol is trying to assist the LAPD and might be taking over the pursuit. So far, LAPD still in control.
Apparently, the numbers said that he was drawing far more from Trump than he was Harris.
Take it over into the 4-level interchange. He's gonna continue. He's gonna continue on the 110.
I think the majority of his voters are likely not to vote.
He's gonna be in and out of lanes here with the speed. Oh, look at that move! Cross.
He is riding in an Alfa Romeo.
Okay, eastbound 6th Street. He's on 6th Street.
I'm pretty sure I said that right, and if you're wondering how I said it right, it's because I play a lot of car games.
And he's going to go into
West Carroll. You like Dick?
Oh, man.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth.
Pershing Square
I'm
Underground.
going to give you the blowjob of your life. Then I want you inside of me.
Wow. And he's going to go into parking, underground parking here.
We usually post dick pics in the Discord. But we'll let you slide this time.
It could pop out on one of the alternates here. We'll see if that car jumps out. We'll keep a wide shot here because he could jump out at different spots.
Was this dude like a griever that thought he'd come to this chat and get a rise out of us? We're like, hey, nice dick.
Wasn't able to keep up due to speed in the traffic. The airship had it go into the tunnel there underground.
It was large. That might have been Hunter's dick.
LAPD's talking about it on their radios, trying to figure out if he bailed out of the vehicle underground or still in the vehicle.
If we don't get resolution, I'm going to be pissed.
The night sunlight moving with the light from the helicopter. That's the LAPD using that night sun. They're directing units into all the exits. Now we're hearing the vehicle is found abandoned by the LAPD in the park.
He's on foot.
Structure here at Pershing Square. They're looking for a male Armenian with facial hair. They're looking for that person now in that underground portion. Vehicles are coming out slowly. Their LAPD's checking each vehicle that comes out.
Checking each vehicle that comes out. Oh my God!
The airship is equipped with a forward-looking infrared system where they can find a heat source, so they should make it pretty easy for them to get this suspect into custody.
Was this even the same chase?
I was almost going to come to a stop. Let me come out.
No, it's not. God damn it. Well, let's go. We'll watch this one from the beginning.
Freeway northbound, headed towards the 10 freeway right now. LAPD went into pursuit of this stolen vehicle here. As I zoom in the center of the screen there, it's pretty dark down there.
When did this even happen?
Northbound 7.
It says 13 hours ago.
It's been in high speeds on surface streets and now on the freeway. Airship overhead is calling it. They're in tracking mode right now. They're trying to get the CHP involved since he's on the freeway. But again, we'll see what the driver does here on the 10, if he's going to go east or west, or it looks like he might be exiting here at Ramona. He's going to take that sweeping turn kind of fast there. He's had to be hard on the brakes here. And he's going to make a right-hand turn southbound on Corporate Center. And LAPD trying to re-engage here on the ground. Airship calling it out to the units, but it's hauling back units that were in pursuit of this vehicle just a short time ago when we got on scene and jumped on that freeway to get away from them. No, the airship's guiding them for sure. They were behind the vehicle for quite a while, and then jumped on the freeway. That's when the units pulled back. The helicopter went into tracking mode, tried to get the CHP involved, but now he's off the freeway. So now it's back in the hands of LAPD Hollenbeck, and it sounds like they're going to try to re-engage the pursuit right now with those ground units that are about to intercept the vehicle. No traffic really on the surface streets, hardly at all, especially in this.
Yeah. This is a completely different chase happened last night.
Laurel. He's gonna come.
It looks like the dude in the Alfa Romeo got away. I can't find any confirmation they ever found the dude.
And I hear the LAPD airship coordinating. There's the night sunlight coming on. There's the units right there waiting for the vehicle coming into the intersection there underneath the 710 freeway. And we'll see those units re-engage here shortly.
Always love cats in the Discord. Post all your animals in the Discord. Wait a minute, you guys banned the cock dude? Why'd they ban the cock dude?
And Mike and Sandra, just listening to the CHP dispatcher talking about it, we're going to have to get confirmation on this, but this might have been a car.
You compliment the cock art, you don't ban it.
This vehicle, we're going to work on getting that information, but certainly stolen.
Yeah, but he went into, he abandoned it in a parking garage.
Slow down here.
Oh God, this dude's coming to a stop.
Northbound on Eastern, heading towards the 10 freeway, and now it looks like he is almost going to come to a stop. Let me come out.
Yeah, that's how I know that's how I knew how to pronounce Alfa Romeo, because I play racing games.
Look at that. Running with his hands up. I'm not sure what that means.
Wow, Justin didn't fuck that one up.
Trying to comply but run away.
I don't think he was trying to comply. He did have his hands up, but he was certainly running from the moment he got out. We can get some parkour going on here. I love it. Yes, run!
One o'clock.
Dick pics? Or boys chat? We still don't know what the boys chat does.
Do an orbit.
Sparkles is very pissed off when the Groypers got in the boys chat, though. Well, see, she always sang a little songs like, boys chat, boys chat. I was like, I feel like that's not a wrestling chat.
He actually ran, yeah, exactly. He went into this parking lot and then went into the dirt area here, just above where he pulled over. So it might be up in the trees there. We've got officers there with flashlights looking for.
So this one ran into I don't want to call it a forest.
The suspect right now might be up one of those trees.
A slightly wooded area.
Close, very close to the sheriff's headquarters here. So the driver, probably not knowing that he was running right into the sheriff's department headquarters here, has made his way up this little hill, got into that parking lot, and then got into the,
Amazing.
into the bushes there. So we'll see if they get him.
Yeah, unban him, Drake.
Here's the wide shot of where the vehicle came to a stop.
I mean, if he spams like multiple things, yeah, then ban him.
He came out running with his hands up and away.
But just the one, I was kind of amused by it. It was a lovely penis. I assume he cut and pasted it, but if he took the time to make it himself, I would be impressed.
Listen to the airship overhead. They're talking about getting units there. But last place we saw him was right about here.
It filled the entire screen with dick.
Gotten into one of the trees. They're talking about maybe he moves southbound along the fence line here, but the airship is equipped with a forward-looking infrared system where they can find a heat source. So they should make it pretty easy for them to get this suspect into custody.
I mean, I have too, but I mean, you can call it nice. It doesn't mean it's the nicest.
Thank you.
If you must, Drake, if you must be timed out. Okay, they got two people on the ground over here.
Oh, I got two there. I didn't see that.
Are these the suspects?
Shoot.
Not as fun as the other one. If you did not catch the first chase we did, holy fuck. Dude got out of his car talking on the phone. I thought he was going to get shot for sure. He did not follow any of their commands whatsoever. And just kind of walked away with an AK pointed at his head. It was quite the sight to behold. I got one more story for you. We'll do a cat video and we'll get the fuck out of here. Because I believe this is one of those absurd news stories that you guys have missed out on while we've been doing DNC coverage this week. And everybody, if you haven't heard this one, you want to know it. We'll make everybody happy.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, you saw it here. This is a LAPD pursuit of a stolen vehicle, possibly a carjacking. Now, the driver pulling over here on Eastern jumped out and ran up the street and up into the bushes there. In the meantime, two passengers came out, surrendered. There's the second of two being taken into custody. The vehicle here being cleared. We're working on getting that information of whether this was a carjacking or a straight stolen. But two in custody. The driver still outstanding. We'll come out to a wider shot. You see the night sunlight from the helicopter overhead searching for that driver. The driver jumping out of the vehicle with his hands up but running.
Did he shimmy up a tree?
Uphill with his hands up the whole time. Then he got up into these bushes, jumped into this parking lot. This is real close to the sheriff's headquarters here in East LA. And then he got into the bushes here. They're looking for that driver right now. But two in custody.
Oh, fair enough, Flash. It was some sort of assault rifle.
Running around here.
Do they use ARs? Is that what it is?
LAPD officers, they're searching for him right now.
From video games, I just call everything an AK. I was like I was using it like people call tissues, Kleenexes kind of deal. That kind of ended abruptly. I don't know if we got the driver on that one. Ack 47. Prometheus don't ever change. You keep me rolling during the show. I wanted to save this video that popped up, but god damn it, it won't let me. Oh, maybe I'm not. Well, I am signed in. Fucking shit. Okay, this story is one that we've missed while we've been doing the DNC, but is one that will make everybody in the chat celebrate. This billionaire had this super yacht that he claimed was unsinkable. Well, guess what the fuck happened to it?
Taking a live look over at Porticello, Sicily, the Italian Coast Guard saying now that the body of British tech giant Mike Lynch is among those recovered off the coast of Sicily from the wreckage of a super yacht whose builders had called it unsinkable. One woman as of...
When are these fucks gonna learn their lesson?
...of Lynch, who had been celebrating his recent acquittal on fraud charges.
No, it wasn't the orcas.
And the people who had defended him at trial.
Even better, I didn't know the story. He had just got off on fraud charges and was celebrating. Super yacht claimed to be unsinkable. Dude, this story gets better and better and better. Fair enough, Flash. Heart goes out to the workers on the yacht, but he died. The billionaire died. Yacht now sunk.
A live look over.
It was a storm.
Sicily.
I mean, I guess it could have been workers.
Now that the body of British tech giant Mike Lynch is among those recovered off the coast of Sicily from the wreckage of a super yacht whose builders had called it unsinkable. One woman, as of last check, does remain missing. Now, the bodies of Lynch, who had been celebrating his recent acquittal on fraud charges with his family and the people who had defended him at trial in the U.S., along with 5 others, were recovered by rescue crews following Monday's tragedy. A 56-meter British flagged yacht went down in a storm early Monday as it moved about a mile offshore. Civil protection officials said they believe the ship was struck by a tornado over the water known as a waterspout and sank very quickly. The chief executive of the Italian Sea Group, which owns that manufacturer of the boat, said super yachts like these are, quote, the safest in the most absolute sense. First of all, because they have very little surface compared to a yacht facing into the wind, the CEO said. Second, with the structure, the drift keel, they become unsinkable bodies. Investigators are now looking at why the ship sank, killing at least 6 people, and a 7th person, as we mentioned, does remain missing. 15 of the 22 people on board did survive, including a mother who reported holding her 1-year-old baby over the waves to save her life. Divers have struggled to find the bodies in the yacht's hull on the...
Okay, so it seems most of the people that died were shitheads.
Seabed 50 meters, which is about 160 feet under.
Sorry for anyone who wasn't.
Spokesperson for the fire rescue service saying, quote, we would need a crystal ball to know when we'll be able to find the next body. It's very difficult to move inside the wreckage. Moving just 1 meter can take up to 24 hours. So again, we are taking a live look over in Porticello, Sicily, as the Italian coast
energy flow
confirming that the body of British tech giant Mike Lynch is among those who have been recovered off the coast of Sicily after Monday's super yacht incident there. Again, it does appear that it was hit by a tornado over the water, which is known as a waterspout. The body of one woman still remains missing, and as I mentioned here, we are told that 15 of the 22 people on board did survive. All of this, of course, under investigation here, so as we get more details, we'll make sure to bring those to you right here on Live Now from Fox.
I don't know. It didn't let us know that who of the 7 might have been just hired help or something, but overall, I think that's a pretty good story. Heart goes out to anybody who wasn't a shithead that might have lost their life. But billionaire celebrating getting off on fraud charges in an unsinkable super yacht gets sunk. Wow. So that's the one of all they had, somebody mentioned it earlier. Yes, I have we're backed up on absurd fucking news. Things such as 10-year-old boy found dead in trash can, mom interrogated. California hospital accused of losing a woman's body. Woman goes on violent rampage. I got a kidnapping caught on camera. Like, I got all kinds of shit over here. But that was the story I really wanted to play for you guys before we got out of here. Oh, I didn't even have... Does it have to be a cat? It should be a cat video. You want a cat video. We'll make it a cat because I have a new Mo Mountain Mutts video. Actually, since I'm bringing it up, let's do Mo Mountain Mutts. Because Mo Mountain Mutts actually happens to have a video titled Mo Mountain Meows. It seems that sometimes the puppy bus becomes the kitty bus.
Riding with Mo Mountain Meows, we are now offering bus services to cats.
Let's go get everybody.
All right, Ruby, take us away.
He's curious.
Yes, you did hear.
Look at the tie.
We are now expanding our business to service cats. We saw that there was a need for cats to have extra enrichment in our lives. We have a bus, and we already work in pet care, so we figured, why not? We'll be calling this new business venture Mo Mountain Meows. Comes with catnip and all sorts of treats for cats. Here you can see some of the cats.
Those are some well taken care of kitties.
And heading into their homes. With this new business venture, we'll be taking cats to all sorts of beautiful locations around Southeast Alaska. We're going to be doing group hikes in the Alaskan wilderness.
Oh yeah, they smell all those dogs.
All sorts of training as well. So join us in this new journey as we show you guys our new business venture.
I ended abruptly there.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Meows. We are now offering bus services.
I'm a capitalist, motherfucker. Eat your ads and enjoy it. Oh, wait a minute. You're talking about the Mo Mountain Mutts.
Ruby, take us away.
Well, I mean, like you guys live in Alaska?
Yes.
Well, if I'm going to eat your ass, I will eat your leftist ass like corn on a cob. I'm ready.
Cats have extra enrichment in our lives. We have a bus, and we already work in pet care, so we figured, why not?
My usual son. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get you guys somebody to raid, don't I?
Comes with catnip and all sorts of treats for cats.
Yeah, eat commercials.
Here you can see some of the cats happily knowing the routine.
I'll stay on long enough for you to eat another commercial break.
With this new business venture, we'll be taking cats to all sorts of beautiful locations around Southeast Alaska. We're going to be doing group hikes in the Alaskan wilderness, and we'll offer all
Hildy's perfect.
as well.
It's Fondant Friday, too.
As we show you.
That's exactly where you want to go. That's exactly where everybody wants to be right now, is Hildy. Doing some cake stuff.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Meows. We are now offering bus services to cats.
Let's go get everybody.
I'm going to make everybody sit through the commercial break before I raid into Hildebeest. If you're watching on Twitch, you are heading over to Hildebeest.
He's curious.
Yes, you did hear that.
Since we're bringing up Hildebeest, let me play you as we're waiting on everyone to eat their commercials. So I get the about 10 cents, I think, is every commercial break on Twitch. I will show you my favorite clip from the Freak Show, and it features Hildebeest. We're going to do the short version. Let me do the short. Because if you haven't seen it, it cracks me up. I guess I gotta go find it. Yeah, it's a little ways back. Remember when Zelensky and Macron stood dick to dick and we called it diplomatic docking? Some of the shit that has happened on this show. Good times. We've had good times. I fucked up. I shouldn't try to do this. Why I can't even find this fucking clip of me with Hildebeest. It was so fucking funny. I used to post a lot. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. This was from the Friday Night Freak Show. God, almost 2 years ago now. This is our sweet little group called A Higher Calling. And they like to go around and they like to sing for different organizations. So would you like to hear what A Higher Calling is all about?
Why not? Let's do it.
Why not, she says.
We're live, aren't we? Praise God.
Praise him. Praise him, Hildebeest.
Jeez, that one on the end, is he alive?
This guy right here?
Yeah, is he alive? Does he have a pulse?
Well, well, it's funny that you should say that, because that was the reason why I was going to bring them up.
No, did he die? No.
Funeral services for Dan Tomlin have been set for Monday, August 29th. So I want...
They killed him. Oh, praise be. Praise be. Oh, Jesus H. Christ.
This is our sweet... Man, the fact that she called it. Did he die in the video? Well, okay, so I used to play them for, Sparkles when Sparkles was the co-host. And just every now and again, we'd check in with Higher Calling. And I saw that the dude died, so I was like, we'll check in with him. And then Hildebeest did that. Apparently, he looked pretty bad. Oh, fuck. That was amazing. If you're watching on Twitch, you are heading over to Hildebeest. It is Fondant Friday.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Meows.
My usual sign-off doesn't work in the afternoon, so I'll use the thing I always say on stage when I'm doing stand-up comedy. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. However, that doesn't limit your options very much at all. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you Sunday night on the Troll Patrol, live.
Yes, you did.